Have you ever been asked by a potential client if you shoot both photo and video? If you're anything like me, I've been asked this multiple times by artists, venues, and other types of clients. Especially when I was first starting out, my answer was always one or the other, and it cost me. So let's explore the 10 reasons why you need to be able to shoot video and photo on your next project, and hopefully not only will you grow faster than I did, you'll also avoid the many mistakes I made while trying to figure out this whole creative career thing. Also, make sure to stick around till the end because number 10 alone makes this decision a no-brainer, and honestly, I can't think of anyone who wouldn't benefit from this one thing. Let's jump right into it. Reason number 1, combining two mediums in a single project. This is one of the easiest ways to level up your content because using both photos and videos in a single project creates a more engaging and dynamic piece of work. Creating engaging work means your content will be higher quality, which means you can provide more value as a creative in the industry. Another advantage to using two mediums in one project is you instantly separate your work from someone who uses just photos or just video. Take my friend Katie, for example. She found some incredibly creative ways to include photos in her work, and she now works with some of the biggest names in the world. Speaking of friends, reason number 2, meeting more people and attracting more clients. I'm sure you've heard the quote, your network is your net worth. When you can do both video and photo, you're automatically putting yourself in situations to meet and connect with more people. Meeting new people all the time is going to result in others discovering your work, and these new connections could turn into potential friends, peers, and clients. An additional perk to learning new mediums is that people will notice that you're developing your new skills and growing. People are naturally attracted to your journey and they want to see you win. This will often lead to referrals now that they know you have additional services to offer. Reason number 3 is definitely the most underrated. It's all about increasing your opportunities for collaboration. I often compare learning a new skill with learning a new language. To a degree, this is true. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's a certain vernacular for photography that will be different from that of videography. Your knowledge of that language will allow you to more effectively communicate your ideas with others and thus resulting in a better experience and more than likely a better final product. Quick story about how this exact thing had an impact on my career when I was starting out. I shoot a lot of concerts and festivals, and so there's this big festival in Chicago, and I was trying to figure out a way to get on either the photo or the video team. Through a little bit of networking, I was able to be a PA on the photo team. I specialize in video, but it was really cool to just learn the ins and outs and kind of the language of photography while working with these incredibly talented people. So I get invited back next year, and this time I'm being paid and I'm on the photo team, but I'm actually shooting video, which is insane. I've actually never heard of this, is like someone getting paid to shoot video while being on a photo team. Like that's the whole point of there being a video team at these festivals. So it was just like an incredibly unique situation to be in. And that was all because I took the time to learn and understand photography and just, better be able to communicate and collaborate with these incredible artists. Reason number 4, become a better storyteller. Now, I know that some of you may not be interested in telling stories, and that's totally okay, but if I had to guess, you're probably telling stories without even knowing it. Anytime that you're trying to communicate your ideas or emotions to the world through your work, you're telling some sort of story. So when you use more than one medium, photography and videography, to bring these ideas and emotions to life, your message becomes amplified. The best storytellers in the world are able to hook you in and demand your attention for long periods of time without you even knowing it. This skill is something that companies, brands, artists, labels, and any other type of client find extremely valuable. From the technical side, telling a story with a single frame, like in photography, versus multiple frames, like in video, is a very different skill. So I challenge you to look for creative ways to tell a story in whatever medium you're least comfortable with, and you'll find that it actually elevates your pre-existing skills as well. Reason number 5, become a more valuable individual. This just means that you're not a one-dimensional creative. You have multiple skills that you can use to complete a project and solve your client's problems. This also means that you can fill a role on a team of any size because of your ability to adapt. An example would be if you see that an artist is looking for someone to create content on tour, but they only have the budget for one person. The artist and their team will most likely place a higher value on someone who can do both photo and video. Even if you aren't amazing at both, you still have a very good chance of landing that gig simply because you can fill the role. Another advantage here is that you can now perform in many different environments. So for example, shooting in a studio versus shooting a concert. I just want to be fully transparent with regard to the tour example. I've never actually been on tour. It's on the bucket list, something I would love to eventually do, but I just wanted to create an example that showed you the potential opportunities that you could be given if you choose to learn more than one medium and just become an overall multi-dimensional creative. I just think it's such a powerful thing to be able to say yes when a really cool opportunity like that comes up. If I had to guess, reason number 6 will be everyone's favorite: charging more money. Who doesn't like making more money? Especially when so many of us dream of making a full-time living with our art, and so few of us actually make this a reality. Would you not take the time to learn a new skill if you knew that it would enable you to take your career from a hobby to part-time or even full-time? Just something to think about. Okay, so how does shooting both photo and video make you more money? Well, as we talked about previously, when you're building your network, your demand will inevitably increase. Higher demand means you have the ability to charge more because there's only so much work you can take on by yourself. We also talked about how learning multiple mediums increases your quality of work. Higher quality work is seen as more valuable, and therefore you can increase your prices. And because you now know videography and photography, you're more effective at solving problems for your clients. This allows you to charge more because you made their experience easy and painless. Reason number 7, learn different workflows. If you're not familiar with what exactly workflows are, essentially it's your process that you use for creating. Whether you're aware of it or not, everyone has some sort of workflow that they currently use. Learning videography and photography forces you to look at new ways of preparing for, creating, and presenting your work. Making your workflow as efficient as possible allows you to focus less on the technicalities and more on the art, which means not only will you be spending more time creating, but you'll do it faster while still maintaining that higher quality. I'm a big fan of reason number 8. Knowing how you prefer to create makes all the difference. Everyone creates differently, and knowing how your brain prefers to come up with and execute ideas is incredibly important. Maybe you're someone like me who needs to have everything planned out ahead of time, or maybe you're someone who thrives off of chaos and you can piece things together in your head as you go. Knowing these little details about yourself is key to maximizing your time and energy. If you haven't thought about this yet, you're probably asking, well, how do I figure this out for myself? Personally, I've found that experimentation is the only way to find out where your passions lie. Both photography and videography require different ways of thinking. Maybe you discover that you actually prefer one medium over another, or that you can't stand one over the other. The only way to find out is to try, and the cool thing is you learn a lot about yourself in this process. Super quick, I just wanted to expand upon the everyone creates differently part. When I say that, I'm actually super serious. It's important for you as a creative to get to know yourself and understand what makes you tick, what gives you fulfillment, what fires you up and helps you create your best work. The whole comparison trap thing is so real now with social media, especially if you're learning a new medium. You might be comparing yourself to someone who's been doing photography for 10 years and you just picked it up yesterday after only doing video previously. So definitely just give yourself some grace, take some time to get to know yourself, and you'll figure it out eventually, I promise. Yeah, just wanted to touch on that quick. Reason number 9. Many of the skills you already have are transferable. You've probably been thinking about how much time and effort it'll take to learn a new medium, and I totally understand the resistance. But I'm here to tell you, it won't be as hard as you think. If you already have a good understanding of manual exposure, so your shutter, your ISO, and your aperture, and other things like composition and lighting, you're way ahead of the game. And this is not an absolute comment when I say this, but essentially the only difference between photography and videography is knowing when to change the previously mentioned variables and why. Also, I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. If taking the time to learn these new skills seems like too much work, that's okay. This video probably isn't for you then. I'm only speaking to those who are willing to put in the work to level up their business, their art, their career. I personally believe in forever being a student, so yes, I understand learning new things is difficult, but it's also incredibly rewarding. And number 10, my absolute favorite reason why you need to shoot both photo and video is because you unlock untapped creativity. When you have a better understanding of the tools at your disposal, your mind will connect dots that it wouldn't be able to otherwise. Your perspective shifts and you start to see and interpret the world in different ways. This is such a powerful thing for creatives. You now literally have an increased ability to express yourself. When you're better able to express yourself, not only do you feel more fulfilled, but others will be attracted to and connect with your work. Investing in skills that aid in our ability to express ourselves and communicate better with others is invaluable, in my opinion. A quick side note to remember is at the end of the day, you will most likely gravitate towards one medium over another. And that's okay. I'd actually recommend making that medium your primary skill or specialization. You don't have to be incredible at both mediums if you don't want to, but it's important to be competent in the other should the opportunity arise. Our entire careers are determined by the opportunities we're given, and creating opportunities for yourself is invaluable no matter what stage of your career you're in. Personally, this information was incredibly empowering once I knew it, but it took me a long time to get here. That's why I'm sharing this video, and if you found any amount of value in it, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you have any questions, comments, or topics that you'd like me to cover, please leave them below. And yeah, work to create, work to inspire. I'll see you in the next one.